Alright, so this isn't going to be a heavily edited video at all. I'm actually probably not going to edit this much instead of splicing up clips together and just putting it together. This is going to be kind of a breakaway from my usual content. I was working on a video, but I felt like this one was pretty important to make at the time. Yeah, so I'm sure you heard the news that Akira Toriyama passed away, and everybody heard the news. Everybody was into Dragon Ball. I mean, even people who didn't watch anime, they were into Dragon Ball. And of course, this news made me sad, but I've dealt with a lot of loss, in my life. So I've learned that I come to appreciate people when they pass away instead of just being sad and being depressed the whole time. I kind of just think about the memories I had with that person. And obviously I didn't know him personally. I'm not going to claim that. I wasn't crying. I wasn't, and that isn't to take away from people who did. I don't blame them at all, because that's a huge part of their life that they lost. But, this was just very unfortunate. And this was somebody who obviously influenced so many people, influenced so many games, media, everything. I'm pretty sure almost every Shonen Jump mangaka was influenced by Toriyama. He had some of the most influential character designs, designed games like Dragon Quest. He did art for Chrono Trigger, just a bunch of different games. And obviously made a huge impact on my life. I have a crumpled up Goku poster in the back of me. I got a bunch of Dragon Ball stuff. I mean, I got a Kamehameha shirt on right now. And a lot of my relationships now wouldn't be as strong, wouldn't be as long lasting as if he wasn't there, if he didn't create such an amazing universe, if he didn't create such amazing characters. But yeah, so for this video I didn't want to really be sad. I didn't want to talk about how distraught this made me. And yeah, it was a really sad loss, but I think it's important to appreciate what he gave us as well. So I just want to go over some of my favorite Dragon Ball moments. Number one, my favorite Dragon Ball moment of all time, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan against Cell. Honestly, the whole Cell saga in general, still one of my favorite arcs ever. And I know I've been vocal about, like a couple years ago, I made top 10 anime video. And I said, yeah, Dragon Ball is not the greatest quality, whatever. I don't want anyone to resurface those clips or anything and play them out of context, because I feel like that would diminish the actual impact it had on me. Yeah, and I've been vocal about it, but that doesn't mean that this person's loss of life is any less tragic. And anyway, let me go on with this. I'm sorry if this is rambly. I'm not going with the script. I usually always go with the script because my thoughts are always super jumbled. And yeah, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan versus Cell. Gohan had always been built up as this character with so much potential. We saw it against Raditz, we saw it against Frieza, the Ginyu Force. So, a kid who used to watch it on Cartoon Network all the time, the reruns at least, with Dragon Ball Z Kai and a couple of the old Z episodes. Of course, I was super into Gohan. Everybody loved Gohan. And, the Cell Saga was the first big, huge moment for Gohan. And, of course, his transformation into Super Saiyan 2 still, by far, is the best transformation in Dragon Ball. And not even to mention, the Super Saiyan transformation against Frieza, probably the most iconic transformation of all time throughout any media. Super Saiyan's a transformation that nothing has topped, nothing has come close to topping. It's just extremely significant. They play it, I mean, I watched the Truth's video, and yeah, Shang-Chi had a Kamehameha scene. Amazing World of Gumball, an audience that connects with kids through Cartoon Network, had a Super Saiyan transformation with Gumball in one episode. It's just so many things. There's so many creators who were influenced. And my favorite manga of all time is Hunter x Hunter. And who knows if we would have gotten that art style, that story vision, if it wasn't for Akira Toriyama. Who knows if we would have gotten, Attack on Titan. Who knows if we would have gotten a ton of these great anime without Akira Toriyama's influence. And I saw this video where Akira Toriyama was talking about how persistent he was because he had been turned down so many times through his art. And I know I'm supposed to be mentioning my favorite moments, but the more I talk, the more these ideas come to my head. And this is rambly. Of course, this isn't a video I care about getting views. This video is just more so for me to kind of vent out everything that's on my mind. I just think it's really important that around these times when these creators we love pass away, I think it's super important to lament, and I think it's super important to say these feelings we have, share these emotions we have with other people, because, you know, a lot of people might be going through something similar, and I think it's important to share that, you know, it's okay to go through that. So yeah, next moment I would like to explain is honestly Resurrection F, and nowadays not my favorite movie of all time. And I know Toriyama he was a little more hands off in this role, but it came from his brainchild. Dragon Ball had so many games, so many movies, everything, but this one in particular, I had gotten into Dragon Ball. I liked it. Like I think one of the first things I had watched from Dragon Ball was the Android 13 movie. So I got to watch Bird Coup and everything. Sorry, not Bird Coup. I got to watch the transformation into Super Saiyan, the Spirit Bomb absorbed Goku. And the reason this movie means so much to me is my best friend right now. We have been together. We've not been together. We've been friends since first grade, and he had talked to me about this, and I was into Dragon Ball, but I wasn't super into it. So I had known about Frieza and everything, of course. And one day we were at my grandma's house, and he mentions that he has like 2 tickets to go watch it, and he invited me to go. So it was one of my first big outings, and it was actually one of the first things that got me super into Dragon Ball Z, because we had sat in the theater, we watched it, and you know, your boy Vegeta fanboy was so pissed that he didn't get the kill, and I was like, damn, man. But yeah, it's a great memory as a kid. And I don't remember exactly what year that came out. I believe it was 2014, 15. But it's still, damn, it's almost like 10 years ago. It's almost 10 years ago where that one moment just impacted my friendship so much. Where, obviously, I'm not going to say that, like, I owe everything with my friendship to Dragon Ball. But it was a huge part of it. We used to always hang out, watch Dragon Ball Z, maybe watch WWE, you know. And like eat nachos. That was like our thing, our tradition. Like I talked about it in one of my other videos in the past. And yeah, I'm sorry if my rambling, and maybe I should have scripted this out, but I just think it's more natural to talk about it off the top of my head, because I don't want to come off as insensitive or anything, because he truly did mean a lot to my development as a person. You know, Goku is one of my favorite characters now. I didn't like him as much back then, because I was, again, a Vegeta fanboy and Gohan fanboy. I wanted them to get more limelight. But, of course, Goku is one of the GOATs, man. And he's just such a great character. And we would have never gotten that if it wasn't for Toriyama. Another moment I absolutely loved, I alluded to this earlier, Super Saiyan Goku transformation. The best transformation in history. It's the catalyst for so many shonen power-ups. I mean, Super Saiyan had been built up this entire Frieza saga. I think his name was Kyoshi was the original Super Saiyan, and you know, Sean Shenmue's voice acting there just added so much to that moment. Great moment, and of course I'm gonna say this again, we wouldn't have gotten that without Toriyama. We got so much great content from him. I mean, amazing games, Budokai Tenkaichi. The whole franchise of Tenkaichi, amazing. Xenoverse, obviously, great games, both of them. I love Dragon Ball Fusions, Dokkan Battle, one of my favorite. Like, I've had Dokkan Battle since it came out, damn near. Dragon Ball Legends, I'm not the biggest fan of, but a ton of people have gotten so much enjoyment out of that, and it's just a mobile game. It just goes to show how much influence he had, and I mean, yeah, I'd say anime in the Western culture would not be nearly as big as it is now, because it's cool to like anime now. Like, you used to be picked on, you used to be a nerd, you used to hide that, but you know, thanks to him, I just think it's great to think about how much he's done. Like, I could go down this rabbit hole for hours, where I just pick out one thing, and I'm sure I could trace it back to Toriyama. From art designs, I mean, he worked on Doctor Slump. Um, he did a bunch of character designs. Dragon Ball obviously is his big thing, but it's not just about that. It's also, and I talked about this earlier, it's his persistence, man. If he didn't continue to try to publish, then we would have never gotten it. And I'm sure so many people have been told, like, they're not good enough. You know, they're not cut out for what they're trying to do, and I just think it's bullshit to listen to that. I mean, his persistence, I think, should be inspiration for anyone. He became one of the greatest mangaka of all time. Potentially the greatest. He's probably my favorite of all time, just in terms of what he's done for my life. But it's just this guy who's been rejected so many times and continued to go, and obviously created one of the most popular, one of the most iconic anime of all time. I know One Piece technically, like, is the most popular, but it's his influence is just so much more than sales. There's so much, like, my girlfriend's even into it. Like, that started a lot of our conversations. We started watching Vinland Saga together, and that was one of the big things. But we talked so much about Dragon Ball. I remember the first few nights, like, we stayed up together till like 6 a.m. This was before we were even together, and just stayed up going through our drawing Goku, and even lately we've been watching the Cell Saga together. So of course, like, I'm gonna rewatch Dragon Ball, man. Like, he's just so goated. I'm sorry if this is so unprofessional, because I really should be using more fancy terms, but you know, I just think it's important to talk about him like this. Like, it shouldn't be such a sad video for me to make. I like free flowing with this. It's just his enjoyment is what's coming out of me right now. Like, the enjoyment he gave me is, you know, I can't even really explain it. Like, I probably would never make YouTube videos if it wasn't for him. I have so many drawings, like, you know, this is an old art notebook of mine, and I'm sure I could find, right off the bat, terrible God Goku drawing. That was when I first started to work with pens. Vegeta, Gohan. There's Hunter x Hunter, there's Jujutsu Kaisen right here. Blue Gogeta when he first showed up in the Broly movie. Broly movie, again, probably one of my favorite things to come out of the Dragon Ball franchise. I mean, great movie. We would have never gotten that. Let me try to find more. I'll show you guys a couple more. It's just, obviously, these aren't good drawings, but he got my creative mind going. Goku Black right here. A Rose Goku Black. Never finished. And I'll show this last one. Again, not finished, because your boy used to get pretty mad because he couldn't draw. But Super Saiyan Teen Gohan. Probably my favorite actual character in Dragon Ball. Vegeta probably is, but Gohan, I mean, Super Saiyan Teen Gohan, I just related so much to him as a kid, man. Yeah, I'd like to share a couple more moments that I just absolutely love from the series. Oh man, like when Vegeta came down and he bossed up, turned into a Super Saiyan, he was a fucking dog. I loved that. Has a machine like yourself ever experienced fear? I mean, we all know that quote, man. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to my buddy. It's just so many celebrity deaths. Like, a lot of them didn't hit me super hard. Like, Kobe's did hit me, but I wasn't as big into basketball as I am now. And Kobe was also a cultural icon. It's just, you threw something in the trash, you said Kobe. I mean, we've all tried to transform into Super Saiyans. Like, let's be real, we all did it as kids. I mean, I did it. I do it now. You keep it on the down low. You keep that on the down low. But I'm a grown ass man wearing a Dragon Ball shirt. I have Dragon Ball posters in my room. Like, man, it's just crazy. And yeah, so to add on to the Broly movie, I remember, so my boy had already gone and seen it, like my friend earlier. he saw it with his brother, who's also into Dragon Ball. And so what happened was I had to take I took my grandma with me to go see it. I was like, junior, sophomore. Damn, wait, no, that was like 5 years ago. Holy shit, that was like freshman or 8th grade. I'm just, yeah, it's baffling. Like, when you really think about it like that, you just gotta enjoy every day, man. You don't know when we're gonna lose these people. And yeah, I'm smiles for this, man, because I'm not gonna try to get super down about this. I just think it's important to realize how much he actually did for the community, how much he did for anime, how much he influenced such great creators. It doesn't get talked about enough. It really doesn't. Like, especially with how terrible a lot of the conditions are for mangakas. I remember when the author for Berserk passed away, a lot of people highlighted that, but it's tough to think about the deadlines they had to go through. And they just did it because they loved it. They did it because they loved the interactions they got with fans. And I mean, he created such iconic moments. I remember when the internet broke when Goku went Ultra Instinct. And let's be real, that was hype as hell. The theme, yeah, of course. Like, man, it just got me into so many great YouTubers like NaNoWriMo, The Truth I alluded to. I mean, C Reacts made a great video, so yeah, like, check this out. Wrong way. Check this out. Like, if you want a more emotional response, go check out C Reacts. I think he made a great video of people who may not connect to this video. Maybe you're sadder about it, and if you think I'm being insensitive in any way, I'm really sorry. It's not the intention at all. At all. It's just my thoughts are more jumbled because I didn't want to script this. I'm not gonna promote this video overly. I'm not gonna put tags. Like, I'm not gonna spam my video with tags. I'm not gonna do a bunch in the description. I'm not gonna be a YouTuber for this video. It's just more so an appreciation, and I think that's important to make when somebody who you like has passed away. So with that, I Toriyama, I mean, I hope you can hear from all your fan base, because everybody seems to have the same message, that we hope you rest in peace. We hope your family, we send all condolences to your family, all your friends, loved ones, everything. And yeah, thank you guys for checking this out. If you want, just leave some of your favorite memories in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. I'll read every single comment, I promise. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and peace out.